Hey guys, and welcome back. Hope you guys doing well. Oftentimes, I get asked this question by some people, and they say, "What's your conception of the afterlife? Do you believe in an afterlife?" And this is the reason why I made this video. I made this video to answer this question: Do I believe in an afterlife, and what do I believe happens in the afterlife? Now, I do. First of all, I want to state something, which is I do believe in God. I think there is a God. It's just that I don't believe in the mythical, sky god of Christianity and Judaism and Islam and all these silly religions. I don't think there is a God who is outside of the universe that operates in a place which is outside of the universe. Especially not a God who is anthropomorphic or some, deity that rules and judges the world. What I believe is that God is nature, and nature is God. So, technically speaking, the whole sum of existence is indeed God. And you can conceive of this, that we come from nature and we go back to nature. We come from God and we go back to God. So, nature is all around us, God is all around us. Anyway, with that sorted, I want to talk about my conception of what I believe happens in the afterlife. So, what happens when you die? Okay. So basically, when you die, there are two places where somebody can go. Excuse me. You can either go to paradise, which is also known as the Elysian Fields. There's a tribute to this in France. It's called Les Champs-Élysées. This is just a French translation of the Elysian Fields. And there is, of course, the Hell realm, which is the Hades realm. I guess you could say that the Greeks called it Hades. And this is what you might know as hell. Things are actually quite simple. When you die, you either go to paradise or you go to hell. And if you are a man, you are most likelihood go to hell. And this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I mean, going to hell is not a bad thing. It's just a consequence of nature. It's like the lion has to get killed at some point. They get into a fight, they get injured, and they die. It just is. It's part of nature. It's not something bad. Okay, just to explain to you. So, there is nothing evil or bad about going to hell, and there is not necessarily something good about going to heaven or, well, sorry, not heaven, paradise. It's just that if you live the life of a man, if you've been masculine, you'll very likely go to hell. And if you have lived a very feminine life as a woman, you will go to paradise, to the Elysian Fields. Now, does this mean that every man is going to go to hell and every woman is going to go to paradise? No. Some women are pretty masculine and live very masculine lives. They're definitely going to go to hell. And there are many men who are absolute FGTs, alphabet people. And these men are not going to go to hell. They're going to go to paradise. You might ask the question, why do you profess, or why do you ascertain or state that men go to hell and women go to heaven? Sorry, paradise. Well, the reason is because Masculinity is evil. I mean this. Well, I don't necessarily believe in evil as such, but what you call evil, this is exactly what masculinity is. And what you call good, and I don't believe in good either, but what you refer to as good is feminine. It's what woman is. So, good is, of course, synonymous with God because women are gods. The more feminine you are, the more godlike you are, because God can actually create something. Women create life. They are good, they're agreeable, and they are God. And a man does not create life, a man destroys life, or he takes the life, or he steals life. So he is not good, he is evil. And as such, evil, of course, is synonymous with the devil. So I guess if you wanted a representation of this, you could say that the man is represented by the symbol of the devil, and the woman is represented by the symbol of God. Now, we oftentimes hear about this alpha male. You could create like a hierarchy. You say an alpha male and a beta male. Well, let's look into the word alpha. Where does the word alpha come from? Well, the word alpha comes from the alphabet. And the alphabet was invented by the Phoenicians and the Canaanites. Well, the Phoenicians ascertained that the first letter in the alphabet was alpha, followed by beta. And alpha was represented by the symbol of the horns. Now, not necessarily the horns of the devil, but definitely the horns of the bull. And of course, historically speaking, the bull has definitely been associated with the devil worship, because bulls were sacrificed to the gods in Babylonia and Sumer as well, and by the Canaanites and by the Phoenicians. Either way, this bull figure of horns represented the letter alpha, which is the first letter or the strongest letter. And this is where we get the concept of an alpha male. You can also think of them as a bully. Well, the word bully literally comes from bull. That's what bullying is. Now, and of course, beta, the beta male, beta is the second letter of the Phoenician alphabet, and beta means house. It comes from the word bet, and bet means house. So a beta male is a man of the house. He's not really a man. He's kind of like a woman. He just stays at home, right? And the alpha is like the bull. He is the opposite of the beta. He does not stay in the house. He's not domesticated. He goes outside of the house, like a bull. So now that we've got this out of the way, and I don't want to get sidetracked, like I stated, the representation of masculinity or men is that of the devil, and the representation of woman is that of God. And the devil lies, steals, and kills. And the woman, or God, is creating life. So a woman will get pregnant, and for 9 months she will create life and then give birth to it. A man cannot give life. He cannot create anything. Actually, men do not create anything. Men are always taking something from someone. They go to war and they take. And this is a good thing. Men need to be men and women need to be women. Men need to go to hell and women need to go to paradise. So, yeah. it's kind of, think of it this way. Masculine energy is dark and somber, and female energy is light. Think of the yin yang. In the yin yang, in the Taoist yin yang, there is a black part and a white part. So that's like masculinity and femininity coming together into a, a cycle that just works together. So back to the initial topic. When men die, they go to hell, and when women die, they go to paradise. Um, Men die because of the men go to hell because of the bad things that they have done, because men are supposed to do bad things, and as such they go to hell. And if they are able to fight their way through hell, they will be reincarnated back into life, and the cycle of life begins again. As for women, they will go to paradise. Obviously, as a woman, you don't do evil. You are not as disagreeable as a man is. You are agreeable, and because you have led such a good and obedient life, you will go to paradise. There is nothing particularly glamorous about paradise. Paradise is a bit like a little field of grass for sheep or cattle to graze on. That's essentially what it is. But, if you do nothing, nothing happens. No. I could stay in my house all day long, do nothing. Nothing risky, right? But nothing gonna happen. Nothing good gonna happen. Nothing bad gonna happen. But yeah, men do a lot of risky things and they end up in hell. Now, I don't believe that hell is just a place of suffering. I think there's a lot of good things to be gained in hell as well. But it is a difficult place. I think maybe if you want to understand what happens to men, maybe I think a lot of people need to start taking God of War a little bit more seriously. I don't know if any one of you have ever played God of War. I did when I was a kid. I think when I was about 12 years old or something. Back then, I had a PlayStation 2, and there was God of War 1 and God of War 2. I actually never played God of War 3, but God of War 2, well, God of War 1 and God of War 2 were pretty good. And I think a lot of people should, don't just play it. Just go to YouTube and watch all the videos of the gameplay. I mean the cinematics. That way you're going to understand a lot of things about what happens to men. Essentially, what happens to Kratos is that he decides to go after the god of war, Ares, and he kills him successfully, and he becomes a god, right? At that point, of course, he was a hero, and throughout his heroic journey, he tried to become a god. When he slew the god of war, he became a god. He leveled up, so to speak, and he became a god, and he gained his immortality. Then he decided to go after his father Zeus and to kill him because of the betrayal that happened. And as he was trying to fight against Zeus, Zeus killed him. He shoved a sword in his belly, and he died. And of course, when he died, he went to hell. But he was tortured a little bit in hell, and he fought his way out of hell, and then he came back. Then he went, went after Zeus one more time. So this is what happens. you die as a man and you go to hell, then you will be reincarnated at some point, at a later point. You will be tortured for some time, and you have to fight your way out of hell, obviously. You cannot just, how to say this, you cannot just leave hell at a predisposed time. You have to fight your way out of hell. Think of it as like you're a convict or a criminal, and you are in prison. You cannot leave prison whenever you want to. You have to escape. You have to do something to get out of prison. Maybe you can seduce the guard and she takes you out of prison, or maybe you find a way to break out. I don't know. But, you have to do something to get out of hell. Like, if you just sit there, like, you're never going to get out of there, right? So then you get out of hell, you get reincarnated, right? And you go back. I mean, reincarnation, what does this mean? Re means again. Carnation just means to go back in flesh, or to be in flesh. Carne. So carne means flesh. So carnation or incarnation is for a being to go back into a state of being in the flesh. For example, you can say about the Bible talks about Jesus as being the incarnated God, right? God incarnate. This just means, in the Greek speech, it means the God which became flesh, right? Because the Bible will say, for example, and God became flesh and walked among us. But of course, this is some Jewish nonsense. Yeah, so it's gonna happen. You go to hell, and then you have to fight your way out of hell, and then you get reincarnated again, and then the cycle begins again, and you have to live your life again, and eventually you'll probably go back to hell again. But I think if you can transcend this state of man or woman, and you become a god, then there will not be hell anymore. So because now you become a god, meaning you become immortal, there's not going to be any heaven or hell. I mean, it's going to be like something else. Yeah, I don't think women get reincarnated, because I think they just stay in paradise. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I've explained this pretty well, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. And if you have anything that you have to say about this, any comments, please definitely let me know what you think about all of this. And I'll see you guys in the next one.